Britney is free from her father. After 13 years, Britney Spears' father, Jamie, is no longer her conservator. A Los Angeles judge suspended him as her estimated $60 million estate and designated a temporary replacement to oversee her finances, effective immediately. Kaylee Hartung is outside the courthouse in Los Angeles, where it all happened.
It's a great day for Britney Spears, and it's a great day for justice.
A milestone victory for Britney Spears. After more than 13 years, a Los Angeles judge ending Jamie Spears' control over his daughter's life, suspending him as her conservator effective immediately.
Britney Spears has been faced with a decade-long nightmare, a Kafkaesque nightmare, orchestrated by her father and others. And she's so pleased and she's so thankful to all of you.
Though the pop star didn't join the hearing, her attorney quoting her testimony from previous appearances, reminding the judge that Britney believes her father is abusive, cruel, and toxic. The judge determining the current situation is not tenable, saying she believes Jamie's suspension is in the best interest of Britney Spears. But the court didn't go so far as to dissolve the conservatorship completely, at least not just yet. Instead, appointing a temporary conservator recommended by Britney's legal team to replace Jamie. Britney's attorney asking the judge for an orderly transition, then termination of the conservatorship entirely later this fall.
We achieved exactly what we sought out to achieve, and that's justice, and it's a first step among a few more toward ultimate justice for Britney.
We need to end conservatorship abuse, and we need to absolutely free Britney Spears from hers.
The famed Free Britney movement is credited with helping draw attention to Britney's mistreatment.
We love you, Britney Spears. We cannot wait for you to be free and to live your life.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, the conservatorship has got to go, hey, hey.
Now feeling empowered to affect change on a larger scale.
Free Britney movement's going to keep fighting for justice for all conservatees so that people's rights aren't stripped so easily by this court.
And Kira, in Britney's latest Instagram post overnight, she says she's on cloud 9 right now. Her attorney telling me he communicated the big news to her before he even left this courthouse yesterday, saying she is very, very pleased. So now with Jamie out, they look ahead to November 12th, the next court hearing on the schedule. That is when they hope this conservatorship is terminated altogether. Kira.
All right, Kaylee Hartung there in Los Angeles. Thank you so much. And Britney's father just released a statement. Here's what it says. Mr. Spears loves his daughter Britney unconditionally for 13 years. He has tried to do what is in her best interests. Whether as a conservator or her father, these facts make the outcome of yesterday's hearing all the more disappointing and, frankly, a loss for Britney. Respectfully, the court was wrong to suspend Mr. Spears, put a stranger in his place to manage Britney's estate, and extend the very conservatorship that Britney begged the court to terminate earlier this summer. Despite the suspension, Mr. Spears will continue to look out for the best interests of his daughter and work in good faith towards a positive resolution of all matters. Well, family attorney and former psychologist David Glass is with us now for more on what the decision means for Britney. He's been with us on this since the very beginning. And David, you were actually in the courtroom. Give us some color of what it was like.
Well, if you've ever been to a heavyweight boxing match, you get the feeling that you want to sit as close as possible to the action. But the truth is you don't want to be in the front row and get hit with any of the fluids flying from the boxers. That's the way the hearing went yesterday. In a rare, uncharacteristic hearing for probate court, there was very aggressive argument made by Britney's attorney, Mr. Rosengart. He repeated over and over again how toxic and abusive Britney has found her father to be in this conservatorship. And there was equally aggressive arguments back from Jamie's attorney. And they were fighting back and forth, even past the point where I think the court knew what it was going to do.
All right, so she is not completely free. She doesn't have complete freedom now. So let's just sort of explain that and what this really does mean for her and how it changes things from what she had in the past.
Well, all along for Britney, this has been a two-step process that she and her attorneys have been pursuing since July, when she was able to choose her own attorneys. Step number one, she wanted to get rid of her father as the conservator of the estate. Step number two is trying to terminate the entire conservatorship. And what people need to remember is that there are two conservators for Britney right now. There's a conservator of the estate. That's the person who makes decisions regarding her money. And there's a conservator of her person. That's Jody Montgomery, the person who makes decisions about what doctors she sees and what therapists she might need to see, even what medications she might need to take. And so while the person handling the money has been changed to a more neutral CPA, who's a fiduciary, someone who is obligated to do the best for her in terms of her money, she still has these two people in place making key decisions for her life.
Right. Jody Montgomery, explain her role, how she plays into this.
For the past 2 years, Jody Montgomery has been the conservator of the person, and she's routinely been making decisions for Britney. And those decisions run the gamut from who she's allowed to see, who she's allowed to consort with, whether she can get married, whether she needs to have birth control, even down to the dietary supplements that Britney might want to take. Britney mentioned taking hair pills at one of the hearings. All of those decisions for the past 2 years have been made by Jody Montgomery. And to me, it seems like Britney was mainly complaining about those sorts of decisions, feeling like she was imprisoned and not being able to make those decisions for herself. But so far, there's been no investigation or even focus on Jody Montgomery and the decisions she's made on behalf of Britney.
All right, so what happens next moving forward? There is going to be another person overseeing her finances. And I guess, is it possible that her father could even owe her money as this moves forward?
Yeah, so now that there's a new conservator of the estate in place, Jamie was ordered to turn over all accounting records and all financial records from everything he's done for Britney for the past 13 years to the new conservator. And Britney's attorneys have promised to investigate in detail all of those records to determine if there was any financial misfeasance, if there were any mistakes made on purpose or accidental mistakes regarding the money being used. And they've promised to pursue that either civilly or criminally. And you add that to the issues brought up in the documentaries with all sorts of security and surveillance being done on Britney. And potentially, Jamie Spears is going to be facing some serious consequences if it's determined that he made mistakes.
David Glass, appreciate it. We'll talk more as we go forward.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.